everyone, for OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter, and today a very special guest on the Apter Chat, country superstar and the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry, Darius Rucker. Welcome to the Apter Chat.
Oh, thanks for having me, and I'm proud to be here.
Well, it's a thrill for me too, because I'm a fan of yours. And October 2012, you were inducted into the Grand Ole Opry, and I know how it happened, but a lot of people out there might not. Your friend Brad Paisley was very instrumental in that.
Yeah, they didn't tell me they were going to do it, and Brad was in the audience, and he was the guy who asked me if I wanted to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry, and it was a very special night for me. I didn't expect it, didn't know it was coming, and Brad's one of my best friends in the business. Him and I are real tight, and so when he got up and asked if I wanted to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry, it was pretty emotional. It was a great night.
Yeah, we saw that. Who are your heroes in the Grand Ole Opry?
Growing up, it was the Hee-Haw guys. It was Buck Owens and Roy Clark, and then Kenny Rogers was really big for me, and then I started getting into bands like Newgrass Revival and Foster and Lloyd and Nancy Griffith and Dwight Yoakam, all those bands like that. And so I was just really deep into the music and said I'd make a country record someday, and it all worked out.
So you were a country fan growing up?
Oh yeah. I was lucky. I was that kid that was into everything. There wasn't really a kind of music that I didn't like. Everything from R&B to country to Sinatra to whatever I heard on the radio and I liked. I just listened to it as much as I could, and that really formed who I am as a musician.
Yeah, he mentioned Frank Sinatra, and I was doing some research on you, and you had. This was great because you sang at Frank Sinatra's 80th birthday party. Wow. Yeah,
that was a great night. We were pretty hot at the time, and they asked us to do it. And I remember they sent us this arrangement of Lady is a Tramp, and when we played it, it sounded just like Only Want to Be With You. And I called up George Slater. I said, George, I don't want to do that. I said, I want to do his arrangement from 64 at the Sands, the Quincy Jones arrangement. And they sent that to us, and I was real happy with that.
Yeah. Now, how did you make the transition really from Hootie and the Blowfish to becoming a mainstream country star?
I was going to make the record myself in the basement with my buddies. I just wanted to make a country record. And I got a great manager, Doc McGee, who got me a record deal. Yeah. And so, they let me go in and make the record I wanted to make. And when I came out, it was just a lot of hard work, a lot of visiting radio stations and, going, being the first man on the bill at shows and stuff like that, and just really working my way up the business. But it took hard work and some good music, and it all paid off in the end.
The country music of today is far different from what you listened to when you were a kid, when you mentioned Buck Owens and those other greats there. Do you feel that this is where country music should be? I mean, where it is now, more of with a popular tone than the old, what people say, the old twangy music?
Oh, I still like the twang. I still like the songs that twang, but I understand what's going on in country music. Country music is such a wide base of music now. It's everything. Yeah. It's everything from dirt country of Eric Church to the pop country of Rascal Flatts, and you got guys like, some guys doing R&B country, and so it's it's just really a whole big genre, but it's all about the song in country music. That's what I love. If you don't have a song, you can't have a hit, and I love that.
What's the one song that got away from you that someone else recorded that you wish you would have had?
Oh, there's a lot of songs that I wish I would have recorded. I wish I had A Letter to Me by Brad Paisley.
Yes, yeah.
I wish I'd written that song. Every time I hear it, I go, I wish I had written that song. Rascal Flatts, My Wish. That's just such a great country song with a great story, and that's the one thing. I'm still a fan. I'm still such a big fan, and so I listen to the radio all the time, and I hear songs and I go, man, I wish I'd written that. In Color by Jamie Johnson. That song. Yeah. God, I wish I would written that song. But I didn't.
Right. Now, we did come here, of course, to discuss your career and, of course, your new CD, True Believers, which is magnificent. I've worn out my car's CD player on this, and you wrote so many of the songs on here, too. Do you get as much satisfaction out of writing as you do performing? Yeah,
I love. It's nothing like writing a song and watching it, go up the charts and watch people singing at shows and stuff like that. That's part of you, part of who you are, and you wrote it. So I've loved writing music.
What's your song on here, the finest one, the one that you wrote that you say stands out above everything
Oh
else?
goodness, they're like my kids. You know, I love them all so much. It's so hard to say which one of my favorite. I just love, I love the upbeat stuff because you get to play that live. Like Heartbreak Road, I love that song. I just love playing it live. We open the show with it, and I love watching people sing along and dance along. But I love the whole record. I really do.
Yeah, it is. It's tremendous. Like I said, I've worn out my CD player. But the other reason that I wanted to speak with you today is that you, when you were growing up, you were I'll use the word rabid wrestling fan, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a freak, man. It was.
I used the wrong word. Freak
me,
is better.
It was Saturday at 1 and Saturday at 6 to 8 were my, you know, I just waited all week for those times. I mean, I still remember so many things and so many great times watching wrestling. It was bad. It was a family thing. My grandmother loved it so much. Her doctor made her stop watching for a while because
Is that right?
Because it was affecting her heart. She just got so crazy about it. You know, I still believe that if my grandmother was alive today, she'd be so mad at me because she always told me, "Don't trust that Ric Flair." But you know, Ric's a pretty good friend of mine now. But you know, I loved it. It was just I was, you know, and I still love it. But back when I was a kid, I was just up until, you know, I was just crazy about it.
So wait a minute. We all stood in front of the mirror. I did it when I was a kid too. We all wanted to be that one guy.
Yeah.
Who was the guy for you?
I spent 2 years of my life talking like Dusty Rhodes every day.
We're gonna have a problem here. We're definitely gonna have a problem here. So we're gonna have to do Dusty versus Dusty here.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure you do.
No. I don't know. So we're going to. By the way, our camera is being worked here by the lovely Haley Apter, my daughter, who is the one who got us together here.
Absolutely.
Is the voice meter working? By the way, we're ticking. Okay, everything's good. But Dusty Rhodes was your hero.
Yeah, I tell you, I was talking to a buddy of mine down in Florida one day. He worked at a radio station, and we were talking about all the things I'd done, and I was like, you know, probably the only thing I've never done was when I wanted to meet Dusty Rhodes. And so the next time I went back to his town, I'm sitting in the back, and my tour manager comes back and goes, you know, Colada wants to see you. So I walk up to the front of the bus, and Dusty Rhodes is standing in my bus, and I cried like a little baby. It was really one of those things that just freaked me out. I was like, man, that's Dusty Rhodes.
So wait a minute. Dusty Rhodes, one of his perennial opponents was superstar Billy Graham.
Sure.
Camera's over there. Your Dusty Rhodes imitation, looking at superstar Billy Graham. Go for it.
Superstar, let me tell you, see what happens is Dusty Rhodes comes to Madison Square Garden. And in the Garden, you see nobody knows Dusty Rhodes in the Garden. They know Dusty Rhodes everywhere because I'm a Tower of Power. Too sweet to be sour. And let me tell you something, superstar Billy Graham.
I'm going to have trouble with it.
My favorite thing is you better reserve the atmosphere for everybody else because me and you on the planet is reserved for me and you. And superstar Billy Graham, when I get to you in Madison Square Garden, you will know that Dusty Rhodes is the greatest of all time.
You know, Darius, Rucker, if you will, all my little white babies, black babies, Chinese babies, boogie down Broadway to see Darius Rucker and superstar Billy Graham, if you will. We go on and do this all day.
My favorite wrestling picture of all time was on Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It was superstar Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes in the Madison Square Garden. And
I took that photo.
Dusty's got the ropes around his
took that photo.
neck, and he's my favorite wrestling photo of all
That was
time.
the rope, the bull rope match.
Absolutely.
I took the picture.
I have that. It's one of the.
I don't believe
that's
that.
one of the things on my computer that comes up because it's my favorite wrestling picture of all
Well,
time.
now you know who took
I
it,
can't
and I
believe you took the
appreciate it.
picture.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, that was there. I was in there at every show. So if you in current day, you said you still follow it.
Mm-hmm.
So is there one guy out there you could point out that you watch and you go like, man, this guy's the best?
Oh, I hate this. I hate this. You know, you hate to bring up a guy who doesn't do it too much, but for me, every time The Rock comes back,
Oh yeah, of
I'm
course.
all over it.
Of course.
In my opinion, he's one of the 5 greatest of all time. I mean, because in the ring and with the microphone, he's a throwback to back in the territory days with the I mean, I just love watching him wrestle. I love his enthusiasm. When The Rock comes back, I can't turn it off.
Now I've known him since he was 6 years old. Spent a lot of time with him in his car with his dad, Rocky Johnson, and he was a shy kid. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I can believe it because, he's one of those performers. He's probably still a pretty shy guy until you get him in front of a microphone. He's doing what he wants to do, and he's one of the guys I've never, I met him once at backstage at the Garden at one of the wrestling events back in the day. But I mean, he's somebody I just want to hang out. I want to have a beer with Rock.
He does a mean Superfly Jimmy Snuka, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
Like a really mean one.
I love. He's a guy that really, for me today, brings me back.
That's great. That's great. So, what was the first match you ever went to in person? Do you remember? And where was it?
We used to go to Charleston County Hall all the time, and so I've been to many. My most memorable match there probably is the Andersons against Tiger Conway Jr. and Steve Kern.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, that was a beatdown.
No, I just saw Steve Kern 2 weeks ago. He's now working at the WWE Performance Center in Florida. Yeah, but the Andersons were the meanest, fastest tag team in the whole world.
Oh, absolutely. The Andersons.
The tags, I mean.
I think they're the greatest. I've had this fight with my wrestling friends. I think they're the greatest tag team of all time, and I think Ole Anderson is one of the greatest mic workers ever. The big turn of 1980, where with Dusty and the Assassins and all that happened in Atlanta. I always tell people, I think that his mic work after that match should be mandatory watching for every wrestling school in the country.
Absolutely.
He was so brilliant and so great, and I still go watch it online and just go, man, Ole was the man.
Did you were you a big fan of the NWO when they took over WCW?
Yeah, I liked that a lot. I thought it was great. I love the way they did it. I mean, that was part of I think Ric Flair's greatest moment was one of his greatest moments when they were sitting in the circle when Hogan first came before they turned to the NWO, and Jimmy Hart got up and tried to talk, and Ric Flair told him, sit down, clown, before I slap you down.
Yep.
Still one of my favorite movies ever. But I thought the NWO was brilliant. I thought Bischoff talking Hogan into being a heel was wrestling history.
Brilliant. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Brilliant move.
Yeah.
And because you always got Flair. Flair's was always going to be the people's favorite. And it was hard to get Hogan over in the South because we're Ric Flair people. Always have.
You were NWA, and that was WWF.
Exactly. And so I thought that was a brilliant move, and it worked great. And the TV wars were they were
brilliant. Every Monday night. Nitro versus Raw.
We were watching it every Monday night. Now, I remember that whole thing because I'd gotten away from wrestling for a second, and then the Shawn Michaels Undertaker cage casket match where Shawn broke his back.
Yep.
That match brought me back. I just thought that was incredible, and then right after that, the TV war started, so it was awesome.
Okay, so you ready for the last piece of business here? Okay, I'll start this. You got to finish it. Okay, because you and I have talked about this, okay? You'll do the third or fourth line. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
But somewhere down the road,
oh my goodness,
our roads are gonna cross again.
It doesn't really matter when.
But somewhere down the road, I know that
my daughter mine is gonna see that you belong
with me.
Great song.
Hold on, I gotta finish it with the one that I saw you do. Even now,
my goodness,
when I have come so far.
That song. I wonder where you are.
I wonder why it's still so hard without you.
Even now, when I come shining through,
I swear I'll think of you.
And God, I wish I knew. Oh, you going to the? Oh,
I'm going to the end.
Oh, you're pulling the whole.
You ready? You ready? Somehow. Even now, I've been dying to do that. Thank you.
Oh my God, I love that.
We talked about that. We talked about he nicknamed me Billo.
Yeah.
Because I was always texting you about the Barry Manilow stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, you can go to your favorite CD store. You can download True Believers. Do we have any questions from the audience here in the meantime? No, we have a huge audience of 3.
Yeah, that's huge.
OneWrestling.com. We've given you an official OneWrestling.com baseball cap here. You're only one of 3 who have them.
Oh, cool. That's all.
I'm number 1. The number 2 guy, can't even tell you who that is. For the Apter chat at OneWrestling.com, Darius Rucker, Bill Apter, and if you wouldn't mind pointing out there, we'll see you at the matches and at the concerts too.